question here relates to domiciliary care allowance and the increasing number of rejections under domiciliary care allowance based on the number of claims. And you might outline to me whether you're concerned that the number of rejections is increasing at a time when we know, because of an increase in the rate of autism, that the number of children that should qualify for domiciliary care allowance is unfortunately going up.
Domiciliary care allowance is a monthly payment to a parent or guardian in respect of a child aged under 16 who has a severe disability and require care and attention substantially over and above that usually needed by a child of the same age. This care and attention must be given by another person, effectively full-time, so that the child can deal with the activities of daily living. The child must be likely to require this level of care and attention for at least 12 months. The number of applications for domiciliary care allowance received by my department increased from 8,609 in 2018 to 8,719 in 2019. There was a slight reduction in the number received in 2020, most likely due to the COVID-19 pandemic, when 7,289 applications were received. However, the numbers increased substantially in 2021 to 9,131. Last year, the number of new applications surpassed the 10,000 mark for the first time, when 10,524 were received. The number of domiciliary care allowance applications that were disallowed at the initial decision stage in 2018 was 2,225, and in 2019 was 2,875. In 2020, 2,639 applications were disallowed, and in 2021 the figure was 2,478. Last year, 3,948 applications were disallowed at the initial decision stage. It should be noted that some of these applications would have gone on to be awarded on review where further medical evidence was received, or on appeal to the Social Welfare Appeals Office. As domiciliary care allowance is not means tested and does not require PRSI contributions, the main reason that a customer would not qualify for the payment is that the child does not satisfy the medical criteria. A very small number of applications may be disallowed where the habitual residence condition is not satisfied, where the child is in full-time residential care, or where an application is not fully completed. Applicants are advised to provide as much detail as possible at application stage, including any additional information or documentary evidence that is relevant, medical or otherwise, to ensure that all information is available for consideration in the decision and assessment process.
Minister, as you said there, the number of claims registered in 2022, now I obviously don't have any 23 figures, but in 2022 was 10,524. The numbers of claims in that year that were rejected was 3,948. Now, rounded the figures, it's about 40%. It's just short of 40%. That seems to me to be a very high level of refusal. Now, I'm a bit surprised if you say the ones that were changed in review are still registered as being rejected. I would have thought that the record would have been correct. And similarly, that on appeal, the department would have corrected the record. But it is a very high number. And as I said, you'd expect the number of claims to be going up, because I'm told by disability organisations the number of people requiring services are going up.
Thank you.
And I've had a number of cases recently that I have been absolutely stunned that the department do not agree that the child in question needs care and attention way over above what a normal child would need.
Please.
My understanding is, in discussion with officials, the rate has not increased over time, notwithstanding the fact that 70% of disallowed eventually do get granted as well. And the explanation for this is the supply of the medical information. It tends not to come in the initial application, at least in these particular cases.
I take to you, Minister, that if you're not getting the information you require the first time, and a lot of the people who are applying for this themselves have their own challenges in life, and they're not super literate, and they don't read law, I would think that quite a bit could be done to make the application form more useful in terms of what's required from the professional and what's required from the parent. In a lot of cases, when they come to the likes of a politician, you advise them to write a diary of what their life is like and then get professional backup to validate that that's true. But that's way down the process. It's just tying people up in a lot of red tape, and some people are better able for it than others. And I think we have to always remember that in welfare, not only are we dealing with very vulnerable children here, but in many cases we're dealing with vulnerable parents.
Minister.
Look, there is an amenability in the department in terms of looking at that question of backdating as well, because I think people get the application in as soon as possible and then some of the medical information follows. We're looking at a way of maybe improving that. I think it's also important to say that Budget 2023 saw new legislation coming into effect with a new provision put in place, making DCA available in respect of children with severe illness or disability who remain in hospital for up to 6 months after birth.